Welcome to Vegas. Today I'm doing a video tour of Diamonds Are Forever. So I'm here in front of the Las Vegas sign. It's right here at the beginning of the Las Vegas Strip on Las Vegas Boulevard. And what's really interesting about Las Vegas is that the airport here is right beside the Strip. So the 1971 film Diamonds Are Forever was filmed almost entirely here in Las Vegas. Las Vegas back then was quite a different town, much smaller and dirtier than the Disney-fied version you see here today. Back then it was the Desert Inn, the Sands, the Stardust, and today we have the Luxor, the Excalibur, New York, and the Mandalay Bay. Here we are at our first location for Diamonds Are Forever. This is the Henderson Mortuary and Cemetery. You know, what was once a pretty empty stretch of road is now a bustling suburb of Las Vegas, southeast Las Vegas, and this is called Henderson, Nevada. So even though the building's been remodeled and it looks repainted, you can really tell it's the same building by this distinctive triangle shape right here. And in the movie, what you see is the hearse with Sean Connery and the Undertakers / gangsters turn into here, drive up this way, and kind of land right about here. So I don't know if there was a driveway here before and there isn't anymore, or if they had just built sort of a driveway for the movie. Sometimes they do that so they can do more interesting shots like the hearse driving right up to the front of the building there. Slumber Mortuary was filmed in 3 different places. It was filmed in this building here in Henderson, Nevada. The interiors were shot on a set at Pinewood Studios in England. And the Garden of Remembrance, which I think is supposed to be this little mausoleum area back here, but actually it was filmed in another location in North Las Vegas. So you can see behind the mortuary here is the cemetery. And you can see that a little bit in the movie, the background. And then right here is that Garden of Remembrance, or at least where it's supposed to be. You can see here that it actually doesn't go in at all, that it just stops right here, and then there's a parking lot or something behind there. When we're in the interior, we're actually at the other location in North Las Vegas.
Amsterdam to give you a quick tour of filming locations from Diamonds Are Forever, starting with the Skinny Bridge, where Mrs.Whistler's body is pulled from the Amstel. This is the Skinny Bridge right here.
Mrs. Whistler did want some pictures of the canals for the children.
I'm in front of Tiffany Case's apartment, the Diamond Smuggler. James Bond is posing as Peter Franks here. What you see in the movie is James Bond driving up the embankment here, crossing over the water and driving up to Tiffany Case's apartment here.
Yes?
Franks. Peter Franks.
Come up, 3rd floor.
Later on in the movie, you see the real Peter Franks drive up and ring the doorbell, and James Bond is making out with himself here.
I'm walking in the same spot where Sean Connery as James Bond has the urn with the Peter Frank's ashes to go collect his payoff. You can see the statue here, and then Sean Connery walks along here and turns the corner right here, and Kidd and Wint are right here, and James Bond goes there. And the way that you know that this is the right spot, you can see back there the stained glass window. That's the spot right there where James Bond gets karate chopped. Sean Connery stood right here, and look, it says reserved. Reserved for James Bond. I'm here in front of the Westgate Hotel, formerly known as the International Hotel, then known as the Las Vegas Hilton, and now is the Westgate. And this is the building that was the Whyte House in Diamonds Are Forever, the Whyte House that is owned by reclusive billionaire Willard Whyte in the movie. Willard Whyte is based off of Howard Hughes, and Howard Hughes suffered from obsessive compulsive disorder and was a reclusive billionaire. He bought the Desert Inn here in Las Vegas. He stayed up in the penthouse of the Desert Inn by himself for over 2 years.
Do you see the top? The penthouse? They say Willard Whyte hasn't set foot out of there in 3 years, and no one has seen him. No one.
Now, in the movie Diamonds Are Forever, Willard Whyte isn't a recluse because he's suffering from obsessive compulsive disorder. The reason that nobody's seen him in 3 years is because Ernest Stavro Blofeld, the SPECTRE #1 head honcho, has assumed his identity and is controlling his whole empire from the top floor of this building, the Whyte House.
Oh, nice little company. Explosives, oil, electronics, houses, aviation. I've done rather well with it, too.
If the building looks a little different here, it's because in the movie, they added another building in the background with a matte painting. It's interesting to see in the movie how this building is kind of built in the middle of nowhere. And now if I turn around here, you can see it's all built up. It's all full of condos. It looks very different from 1971. In the story, Willard Whyte is imprisoned at his winter villa that is supposedly on the outskirts of town. But in reality, those scenes were filmed at the Elrod House. The Elrod House being in Palm Springs, which is about 170 miles southwest from Las Vegas. The outside of the Whyte House was here at the Westgate Hotel, but the inside was actually the Riviera. And the Riviera no longer exists, but used to be just a few blocks away from here. Check this out. There's a picture of Sean Connery here from when he filmed Diamonds Are Forever.
Well, well, well. Look what the cat dragged in.
Right here is where Tiffany Case is following Blofeld, who's in drag, and follows him to the car. These pillars look pretty much exactly the same. Now, when they filmed here in 1971, the International Hotel, now known as the Westgate, had just opened and was a brand new state-of-the-art hotel. That is a big sign. It's almost as big as the hotel back there. We're in the outskirts of Las Vegas, Nevada, and we're driving up to the Pabco gypsum plant that was the Tektronics missile laboratories in Diamonds Are Forever. If you look right over here, you can see the plant here. It used to be called the John Manville Gypsum Plant. I'm here on the outskirts of Las Vegas, and this is the Pabco gypsum plant. This is the location of the Tektronics missile laboratories, and this is where James Bond infiltrates the SPECTRE laboratories where they're building a diamond satellite. The storage dome is the most distinguishing feature of the plant, seen here and in the movie. Inside there is where they're faking the moon landing, and James Bond steals a moon buggy. This is the very spot where James Bond and Tiffany Case drive up. And then, at the end of the chase, James Bond meets up again with Tiffany, and they drive off in the red Mustang towards Las Vegas. This is the desert area surrounding the Pabco gypsum plant. It looks very much like where the moon buggy chase happened. This landscape is very much what you see in the movie, with the moon buggy being chased by the security cars and the three-wheelers. And just looking and being here in this landscape, it's like I can imagine the moon buggy chase happening right here and the moon buggy getting away. Alright, so I'm here on Fremont Street in Las Vegas. It's really loud. It's a Sunday night. It's like 9 o'clock, and Fremont looks very much the same and very different than it used to be. There's a common misconception, or at least I had a misconception about Las Vegas, where I thought it was all centered around one area. But actually there are two main areas. There's Fremont Street, which is downtown Las Vegas, and then about 2 miles south of here is the Las Vegas Strip. And the Las Vegas Strip is technically not in Las Vegas. It's in a unincorporated area called Paradise, Nevada. So I used to think that where the Strip was and Fremont were the same thing, but they're actually two different things. So this is the exact spot where the Las Vegas sheriff sees James Bond drive down the street, and the whole car chase happens all around here, right here. Just to orient yourself, this is Binion's. It used to be the Mint. Down there is the Golden Nugget. Right here behind me is Pioneer. It's closed now, but this was where the Pioneer was for many, many years. The sign is still there. So this is the spot right here where James Bond gets stopped by the police, and you can see the plaza in the background there. You can see it in the movie. In the movie, it's in construction, and now it's completed. And then the car chase starts, and they go all the way down that way. So I'm going to take you down to the other corner, and on the other corner is where most of the chase happens.
Why, you dirty bastard.
So I'm at the corner here of, I guess what is now called Casino Center Boulevard and Fremont. So on this corner is where you see most of the car chase and Diamonds Are Forever. The car chase basically starts up the street here between the Golden Nugget and the Pioneer. And then the car chase comes down this way and goes down the street here. But they basically just, the car chase is basically just going up and down the street. Eventually, James Bond escapes down the street this way. chase inside the parking lot. Now, I think the parking lot that's back there is partly a real parking lot that is behind what used to be the Mint, and partially a parking lot that was in Universal Studios in Burbank, California.
I got you now.
Lean over.
So I'm now at the intersection of Fremont and I think what used to be 2nd Street. You can see the street continues down this way, and it used to go down that way. Now there's a tattoo parlor up here, and right here is where the James Bond in the red Mustang, they come out of the alley at the end of the car chase, and they come down around this corner, and you can tell because the Pioneer is on the corner of the street.